Hello, my friends. Let's talk about the books that I would like to get to in Pixarathon's Woody Roundup. This is hosted by Lily from Literary Lily. I'll have her information in the description box below. Um, I am really excited. I love the movie Toy Story. If you couldn't, I mean, Woody's Roundup, that could be just about anything, but I mean, if you don't know about Toy Story, you might be thinking something else, but it is based on Toy Story. It's divided into teams. Um, and it is month long. So the creator again is Lily from Literary Lily. She did a fabulous job creating this. Went to in a lot of work. It's just I am really excited, and I have a stack of books. Some of them are on my main TBR. I am also participating in Polarathon, and so some of these books are on there as well. So I'm doubling up on different prompts through different versions of a TBR. So again, I have my regular TBR. I have the Polarathon TBR. I have this TBR. I am also wanting to participate in a couple of book clubs. And so some of those are on here. I did a separate video for the books for mainly for Polarathon. And now I have this video, and then I'm going to do a separate video for the books that I mainly want to try to focus on for the book clubs. I in no way expect to get through all of these books. I do expect to get through any amount, yes, but not through all of them. It's just a lot of books. So let me go ahead and start by telling you that I have selected to be on Team Bonnie. Why? I don't know. That's just what I did. I don't know. Oh, I know what it was. I think I was looking at all the groups, and each team you have certain toys, and each toy represents a book to read. And then you can steal a book from another team by reading a prompt that fits with that particular toy. So I was looking at them. Team Bonnie has quite a bit of books to read. So I don't know why I just did it this way, but I did. Each team also has a group book. I do not have possession of the group book yet, but I will find a way to do that. Probably through an ebook through my library. I haven't decided yet because it depends on availability, but I hope to be able to get to that. But right now it is not a priority. This week's priority, with it being the first week of February, is the Polarathon TBR. So let's go ahead and tell you again, I am on Team Bonnie. And Team Bonnie, I have him all written, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, out of the 9, one of them is the group read. The group read is Frostheart by Jamie Littler. Don't think I said that earlier, but yes, Frostheart by Jamie Littler, which I really want to read. And so that was, I guess, ultimately what pushed me into Team Bonnie, because out of all the group books, that's the one I wanted to read the most. So, was it the best decision to go by? I don't think so, but it is what it is. And I'm just going to do the best that I can. So let's go ahead and start. With stealing a toy, I'm going to put Lily's announcement video below. I can't remember if you have to read all of yours first or not. I'm not 100% positive. My goal is to read all of the books, to acquire the toys for my team, and then to try and maybe steal a book from another team. So I can steal from 2 teams, or Team Bonnie can steal from 2 separate teams. We can steal from Andy's group, and we can also steal from Sunnyside Toys group. So there's that. And I have books written down that I can say that I stole them from, or but I'm not going to worry about those. Stealing the book is even lower on the priority than the top 8 that I have sitting here, and also Frostheart, which is the group book. So let's go ahead and tell you what the prompts are and what books I will be reading to fulfill the prompt to obtain that toy for Team Bonnie. So the first toy is Woody, And the prompt for Woody is to read a book with a historical setting. For that one, I am going with V.E. Schwab's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So this one we are following, what is her, well, Addie LaRue. Addie. I was going to say, what's her name? It's in the title. Hello, Christine. And we're following Addie LaRue. There's an event going on. I think I've heard that it's a marriage she doesn't want to do. And so she ends up making this deal with this devil or this demon to live a life. And she lives hundreds of years. However, the downside is that as soon as people turn their backs or she leaves the room, they forget who she is. So that's got to be a pretty lonely life to live. People just can't remember you. She can't even leave her mark on the world. She cannot create art that will make an impact or anything. She might be able to influence someone, but she can't leave a direct mark. That's my understanding. I could be wrong. But so I want to read Addie LaRue by B.E. Schwab. Oh, and then one of the other things that they've mentioned is that at some point over all the years, someone actually finally remembers her. And so I guess that's one of the twists, but how that comes about, we don't know and why. So, but I look forward to that. Toy number 2 is Peas in a Pod, which is the prompt for that is to read a book with siblings, featuring close siblings. So for that one, I'm going with The Color Purple by Alice Walker. So this one, you have 2 siblings. They are sisters. And let's see what... I don't think... It doesn't say their names on the back. One is a missionary in Africa, and the other is a child wife living in the South. So they write letters to each other. They write letters to God. So it's not in chapter format. It's in letter format. Letters to God, letters to each other. I think that's mostly letters to God. So there's that. But they write to each other because of the distance and the time. It says, let me tell you, it says, this is a story of 2 sisters. One a missionary from Africa, like I said, and one is a child wife in the South. It says they sustain their loyalty to and trust in each other across time, distance, and silence. So I thought this was a perfect fit for that. Toy number 3 is Trixie. That, I believe she was the Triceratops? Trixie the Triceratops. Anyway, so the prompt for her is to read a book that has computers as a focus. This was the one prompt that I had the most trouble figuring out. So I think I stretched it a little bit, but ultimately got it. I've decided to go with Marie Lou's Warcross. This one, it's basically a game, and I figure this counts because games are played on a computer, whether it's the computer device of your phone, a tablet, an actual computer monitor, or a laptop. They're still computer devices in a way. So I'm counting this one. And it's... I think someone hacks into the game. I've had this book for so long, I cannot remember what it's really about. Let's see. It says it's an obsession that started 10 years ago. So the teenage main character is a hacker named Emika Chen. Works as a bounty hunter, tracking down Warcross players who bet on the game illegally. So, yeah, that's really it right now. I'll read more about it the closer I get to it, but I think this will fit. Again, the game is the focus, but the games are on a computer. This is the closest thing out of all the books that I own that I could think of, because I don't want to check out a bunch of ebooks. I prefer the physical and listening to an audiobook, and I don't want to buy a bunch of books, so I'm going with this one. toy number 4 is Mr. Picklepants. The prompt for Mr. Picklepants is to read something that I consider serious. So for this one, I am going with Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. It's a little deceiving by the title, and I'm sure if you've watched my other videos, you're probably tired of hearing about this book. Would not surprise me. But the reason why I'm considering this serious is because of the topic. You have a black nanny or a black babysitter who goes to a public setting, I think it's a mall, with a child who is white. And she becomes confronted by security or some people who start claiming that because she is black and has this white child with her, she has kidnapped the child. That's why I'm considering this serious. It is a serious topic, and it's racial profiling, and yeah. So definitely a serious topic and one that needs to end in the world, in my opinion. And the next prompt is for the character of Forky, and this is to read something that is trashy. So this one I also kind of had a little trouble with, not as much as the other one that I mentioned with that I picked Warcross. But this one, because when someone says read something trashy, my mind goes to a very graphic romance. So there's that. But I just read a romance recently. I was thinking it was something else, but I don't have anything that even comes close to as that other book, and I don't want to reread it at this point. I just read it in January. I'm not ready to reread it. So I thought I can still read a romance, but I think it'll be a fairly clean romance, or I've been told it is a clean romance. I don't consider romance trashy, and sometimes I wish it wouldn't be called trashy, because I think it's hard for me to say that I can like romance because of the negative stigma that's around it. And so calling something trashy is just not my personal thing, but that's a personal issue that I've just got to deal with and get over. So I thought about reading something with a cover I don't like and considering that trashy, just a cover I absolutely hate. I couldn't really find anything because I'm a total cover buy person. So most of the covers I actually like. Some of them are not my favorite. So I am going to go with a romance, but it is going to be a clean romance, but I'm going with it just because people say that romance is trashy. So, but I don't expect this to be trashy. Again, I've been told it's clean. It's not going to be graphic or sexually explicit or anything like that. And that is The Duke and Miss Denny by Joy Reid. So this one you're following, so the Duke is in a higher class in the world or in society than Miss Denny. And so there is some negative animosity towards them as their love blooms and gets ignited and grows. And so it's going to follow them as they go through that and either heed or ignore, and how they're going to try and adjust things and what they're going to do. So this is what I'm going to select, again, only because people say that romance is trashy, which I don't particularly like. But this is the only thing I could think of to read. But I really want to read this, and I'm really excited. The next one I'll talk about is for Dolly, and Dolly's prompt is to read a book with a purple cover. For that one, I am simply going with The House with the Chicken Legs. I am reading this one for Polarathon as well, and this is the first book. As you can see, I've already got a bookmark. I've already made a dent. I'm about 60 pages in. So this one we're following, I always have to look, Marinka, because I know I'm not going to say it right just thinking it. Marinka. She wants to have a life with friends, with living people. But she lives with her grandma, who is the Baba Yaga, who helps guide people through the gate after they have passed on. So guide them from the life of the living to the life of the dead. And Marinka is being trained to become the next Baba Yaga. But she doesn't want that. She wants to change her destiny, and she wants to fight for it and break the rules, so to speak, so that she can choose the life that she wants. Two more that I will talk about. The next toy is for Buttercup, and that is to read a fantasy. My option for that is to read The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is book number 2 in the Lord of the Rings series. So we're just continuing on the journey that Frodo gets this magical ring, and he needs to go to, I think it's Mordor, to try and destroy the ring or something like that. And people that know about the ring want to obtain the ring for themselves to have the power. And yeah, so it's a magical ring that needs to be destroyed, and that's his mission, and that's his journey. And the last book on this TBR is for the Toy of Chuckles, and that is to read something that I think will be sad. So this one I'm going to read American Street by E.B. Zaboy. I really look forward to reading this. The reason why I'm saying this is sad is because of the topic. I think it will be hard-hitting and kind of sad. I could swap... Ultimately, I could swap, let me grab it. I could swap this one for this one. I could swap places. This could be a serious read. This could be a sad read. Both of them because of the topic. Both deal with racism. This one we're following Fabiola. Fabiola and her mother are immigrating to the U.S. from Haiti. Fabiola has to live with her cousins during this time because her mother gets held up with U.S. immigrations. So we're following her as she adjusts to that, as she fears for her mother, as she tries to deal with her loud cousins and learning and experiencing American life. So that is my Woody's Roundup TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm wondering if you are participating in Woody's Roundup. If you are, let me know what team you're going to be on in the description box. Are there any of these books that you are going to be reading? If so, let me know. If you've read any of them, let me know your thoughts on them as well. Until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.